Let's go. I just wanted to start off with a brief introduction to who I am. My government name is Solomon Hosea Thomas L. But on the streets, ones know and recognize me as AC. I want to speak on a little bit about my background. I was born and raised in Los Angeles, California, the city of Watts, southeast Dallas, next door to Compton, Long Beach, Linwood, etc. I grew up in the 80s, at a time where everything was plentiful. At the time, everything seemed like it was fun, from gang banging to robberies to bank heists. Anything that you can think of, we did it, and we was good at it. We ain't had no problem with letting anybody know about it. I first came out to Minnesota in '87. My mother had passed away in 1986 from a homicide. I'll never forget that. I was 9 years old. I came out this way. From '87 to '91, I went to school here on the north side in the wintertime. In the summertime, I went back home to California. Until '91, I went back permanently. Again, the same routine, gang bang life, drug trafficking, all of that. We did it all. One of the things that was interesting in those regards was coming up here. My auntie had raised me, and she equipped me with all of the morals and the values that ones would need as a young man, as a youngster coming up. How to respect women, how to respect people. Yes, sir, no, sir, thank you, and all of that. At a time in my life, I was real rebellious, like some of you youngsters, man, right? Not wanting to listen and doing our own little thing. But it's a reason for that. I want to touch on that too. And another one of the reasons why I decided to come here and deal with Emerge is because in 1998, man, I committed a big wrong, a heinous crime, right, as man would call it, in this area, right, literally around the corner, okay. I committed a homicide, man, right. What they say, I murdered somebody. I was 21, turning 22. When I got out of prison, I was 32, right? I'm 37 now. I'll be 37 next month. But anyway, so while I'm in prison or whatnot, it was there where I learned a lot of my skills. I didn't have a GED. I didn't graduate. I dropped out of high school. I got my GED in prison. I got a college education in prison. I took college courses. I even took some federal courses in prison. I became ordained in the ministry in regards to the scriptures. And I studied Moor science and proclaimed my nationality as a Moor in prison. Right? Again, one of the things about that prison life, man, that you all really don't want to experience is being locked up, period, man, right? There's nothing cool about being in prison, being locked away from your family and loved ones, man. Nothing cool about that. I'll be the first to tell y'all that. It was a hell of an experience for me, for the simple fact I had no visitors. I did all of that time with no visitors, period. Let alone letters. Right? And here it is. I'm literally a kid, man. So when you're in a situation and in an environment like that, you have to get with the program. If you don't, you'll be somebody else's you know what. For real. the good thing about it, being up in there, man, you know, all of the things that I've learned, all of the accomplishments that I've learned really to learn how to conduct myself, man. Not only in the institutions, but out here in society. At least that's what I thought, right? So when I got out in '07. I did good for myself. The 45 days of being out, I had my own crib. The third day of being out, I had a job. 6 months after being out, I purchased a car vehicle. Now, within a year of being out, I had 2 vehicles, and I owned 2 companies. I owned a commercial, a residential cleaning service, which was an LLC, and then I owned an escort service, right? You know, I was doing my thing with that. I had got out, I got back in school at MCTC. I took up the bartending program over there. All while I was out, still had the sack, doing my thing real low key. No attention, no nothing. Until one time, this was in 2009. I got out '07, I went back 2009. 2009, I allowed an unconscious individual around me, and the individual seen something you shouldn't have seen. And this individual used that as leverage because they owed me money, and, you know, dropped a dime on me. Boom, so here come another case, right? Firearm case. Now, Minnesota are good at giving second chances, third chances, fourth chances, whatever, depending on who the individual is. If they see that you're sincere and that you're being honest and up front, they give you that chance. For me, being Mr. Slick, it got me back in the joint again, right? From 2009. From 2009 to 2012, December of 2012, I was released again. All right, so I've been out since December. So I'm back on the main line, as we say, back on the main line. And this is what I've been doing. But let me back up a little bit. While I was in, I also put together a curriculum, man, for at-risk youth offenders like you all, right, to help. For the simple fact, I don't blame y'all for what's going on, right? That's nothing to blame you all for that, because really, if you all really knew what you were doing and knew the consequences and the repercussions behind it, it would scare the shit out of you, man. You dig what I'm saying? Especially when it comes to, playing that M game, the murder game. That's not for youngsters, man. It's not. That's not a game that you want to play and get caught up in. You don't want your temper to get to the point to where you want to smoke somebody anyway. You don't ever want to do that, be out of control like that, right? Shake that. So that's one of the part of the curriculum that I have put together as well. That's what I was sharing with Big Brother Will in regards to, my passion for you all as well. And that's why I've been coming up here, man. I've been really attaching myself to this building, and I'm not going to stop, man, until somebody up in here hear what I got to say, they want to deal with it, that's pretty much the gist of that. But in regards to the youngsters, as far as how we grew up, the message is, it was a time where we listened, man, to the older cats, to the older guys. There wasn't no disrespect between young and old. That there is something totally new that's on the scene, right? To where the youngsters is making names for themselves and doing things, on their own, and getting in trouble. And again, not knowing what it is that you're doing, right? You know, ain't nothing wrong, man, with living a square life, as one say, right? That's what it's really about, man. There's nothing wrong with going to school or getting your education on, man, all right? Or going to church, what have you. There's nothing wrong with that. Don't ever let nobody mislead you or put a twist on it and tell you that it is, man. Nothing wrong with that. Getting to know God and coming out with it, you know. Because one thing about it, if this individual don't want to listen or hear, you know, somebody else will. See what I'm saying? And you got plenty who are in tune with those teachers. And that's pretty much it. Again, man, you know, I'm here. I don't belong to any type of agency as far as Mad Dash, Northwell. I don't belong to any one of them. I'm trying to be a part of it. Okay? Yeah. If ones was curious or interested, yeah, in LA, I grew up in a Crip neighborhood, man. So quite naturally, you know, that's what it is, or that's what it was. I'm not active. I'm not an active member anymore. But I grew up in the Grape Street area. Okay, Grape Street Watch Crip. So that was my thing, man. That's what I did. You know? I want to end it right there and maybe revisit it. If any of you all have questions or anything funny, go ahead and come on with it. You know, I'll answer any questions for anybody. Okay.
I got a question. Your first stint. What would you do with your first stint?
What did I do?
Yeah.
As far as the crime?
As far as, no, I know what the crime, I'm talking about when you got locked up.
Oh, when I first got in, it was a shock. It was a culture shock, man, right? Because when you're young like that, we thinking of the movies that we're gonna see, you know, dropping the soap and all that. Okay, so my thing was instantly, man, you know, I put together a couple of candy bars, you know, Shanks or whatnot, you know, and then I got in tune with prison politics, what was going on, who was who, what's what, who can I click with for protection, safety, right? You have to do that, you know. I got my GED 90 days being in there, right? So instantly I was already on my angry though, real angry, man, bitter, you know, just super bitter, nasty with it, right? But at the same time, it was my quest, man, to come out, you know, all the way together, have my mind together and my body together. You know what I'm saying? And become a walking magnet, man, attracting any and everything, right? I got my GED up in there, 90 days of being up in there. Then, you know, I took some college courses, man, dealing with computers, A+ certified, computer technology, keyboard and one, the mouse program, Microsoft Office User Space. So I got that experience. I got my baking certification. I'm a certified baker. I got my license in forklift operating. I took a lot of anger management courses. I took a lot of life skills courses, interpersonal relationship courses, transitional courses. You know, I did a lot of things up in there, man, that was productive. I even taught more science for a couple of years. I taught it. So I was what ones would call considered acting grand chic, if you will. So I facilitated it. I did that for a couple of years. So it was a bad thing that I had to go because of what I did, but I turned it into a positive based on what I accumulated, the things that I've done, my accomplishments, right? And it worked out. It worked out in the sense to whereas my thinking is different, man. My thinking is clear, you know. And one of the reasons why I was so upset and angry, man, the way that I was because I had expectations. You know, that's what a lot of young people go through. Expectations, meaning because we're a family, you know, you're supposed to do this or you're supposed to do that's an you expecting something, right? Get rid of that. for the simple fact, man, nobody, man, owes us anything. Nobody. Don't nobody owe you nothing. I had to figure that out. And it was a hard realization, man. I had to figure it out in prison, man. It was plenty nights that I cried myself to sleep, man. Right? Just thinking about that. And then when I got out, it was another culture shock. Because my mind is stuck in 98. Everybody else, new millennium. They're into the 2000 and the big wheels and all of that. All that's new to me, man. I barely even know how to work a phone. The flat screen, the touch screen and all that. I barely know how to use that. But it's cool. It's all good. It's cool. Yeah, it's just things aren't the same no more as they used to be. But for you all, man, you youngsters, man, going up in there, man, you don't want to do that, man. Straight up, I'm telling y'all, you do not want to go to prison, man. And it's not a game, it's not a joke, man. It's not a game, and it's not a joke. Go ahead.
So what is it you think you did wrong after you was released that got you locked back up?
Well, when I got out, when I got locked back up and
right,
got out.
in between your release and your incarceration.
Oh, okay. Well, I wasn't doing anything in my mind. My thinking was, so distorted, right? Mm-hmm. I wasn't doing anything wrong because I don't like attention. I don't draw attention. I'm not into the jewelry thing, the watches and all that. I'm not into none of that. I was raised and trained a whole another way, right? As far as how to get the money and chase the women. We didn't sit and the only time we had funk or whatnot was when it came to us. But the goal was to get the money and the girls, man. That's it. I got a little complacent in regards to from 07 to 09. I got too relaxed. And the thing about it, I was on ISR, man. The highest form of parole that they got here in Minnesota, right? Mm-hmm. All while I was on parole, I was doing everything under the table. See what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Never flashy at all. I don't want attention, man. I just want the money. And I took my money and would invest it into my company, the cleaning service, and then I would invest it into the escort service. That's what I had, yeah. Yup, I got complacent. Then like I said, the individual owed me some money. I wasn't worried about that. That was nothing. And I guess, he got nervous, at the complex that I was at, he used it as leverage, time on me. Boom, they raided me. When they raided me, they come in. I had over a pound of weed in the freezer. I had the scales put up, money all on the bed. What I was doing that day, I'll never forget. I was getting ready to go to school and from to MCTC. And from school, I was getting ready to go and register a car. I had recently purchased another vehicle, a 2000 Lac, and I was getting ready to go register, man. Right? And before I could even do that, they come knocking on the door. I ain't been at the house in a couple of days, but the neighbors, they normally come jump in the house. So I'm thinking it's one of the neighbors, right, coming over here. So they knocking on the door, and I'm like, who is it? It's like, oh, it's room service. So I'm like, oh shit, this the neighbors playing games with me, right? So I opens up the door, and all of the Minnesota law enforcement was there, man, to raid me. And that's what they took. They didn't charge me with the drugs. However, in the lab, in the dip, or the spot, whatever, they found a firearm. Whose firearm was it? I don't know. Whose car is it? I don't know. Well, why are you driving it? I don't know. Okay. Well, since you don't know, we go on and give you some more time to think about it. So that's basically what it was. I got complacent.
I'm saying, do you think that if you took the skills that you raised after 10 years you did, and used the skills that you used instead of the fact that, it's for me, it's easier to to do what you did. You know what I mean? Grab a couple of pounds, be low key. You know what I mean? It's easier to do that. But that's why I asked, what did you do inside? Because I heard that you made a mistake when you got out and decided to go back to the lifestyle that we used to.
Right.
You know what I mean? So the fact that you got certificates and some things.
Right.
You know what I mean? So at any one of them things,
Did I utilize it?
yeah, of course.
I utilized it by starting up a commercial and residential cleaning service. I utilized my skills by starting up me an escort service. I utilized my skills by getting back in school at MCTC. I utilized my skills by still doing my thing under the table, attracting no attention. See, there isn't in my mind, and from what I was taught, there isn't a problem with that. However, it's only a problem if you're drawing attention to yourself, right? It's nobody's business what I do in the privacy of my own home or my own vehicle. As a man, we have that right. And it was just that minute slip up that cost it, that did it. Yeah.
When you say escort, man, you know, from man to man, you talking like, what are you talking, like women, prostitutes?
Running girls, escort. Yeah. Any more questions?
What's the message to the brothers, man, young brothers?
Okay, the message that I have to you all, like I said from the beginning, prison. Do not want to go to prison. Pay attention to your families, your mothers, your fathers. Pay attention, man. Listen to what it is that they're saying. Even Big Brother Will, Big Bro right here. And you know what? When I got out in 07, Big Bro was the one who intercepted me over at 180, man. Straight up, on the real. Big Bro was real cool, you know. You know, it was real cool. But yeah, that's the message, man. Ultimately, is to not scare you, but deter you from what it is that you're doing, man. Right? You know, if you want to do your thing, that's cool. But know that if you get caught doing it, that it's stuff that comes with that. You know, you want to tear the town up, okay. Just know that there's consequences behind that, man.
I was wondering, what's your motivation for not doing what you was doing before? You know, like getting out the first time and doing it under the table, knowing that you can get away with it, but you just let the wrong people around you. What's your motivation for not thinking, well, I'll just do it under the table again, and I'm just not going to let nobody around me. I'm just even lower key. What's your motivation for not doing it?
My motivation now is I got a son, man. When I got out in 07, man, you know, I made a son. My son is 4 years old. You know, smart kid. You know, real smart, outspoken, right? I don't ever want him to know about this life, man, ever, because it's not foreign. You know what I'm saying? It's not, man. To know anything about how to make drugs or how to deal drugs, smoking drugs, drink, none of that, man. I don't want my kid around none of it. I don't even want him to know that I've even been to prison at all. I don't let him play with toy guns, none of that. We don't do any of that. Yeah, that's what motivates my kid, man. And I want to be out here. You know, the state of Minnesota is tired of me. See, they're tired of me and my family, man. They're tired of us, man. You know, so we got to really, you know, switch it up. And this is part of it.
Can you explain to the little brothers a little more about like what the Moore science is, and then how that plays into, you know, your day-to-day life and how it affects like your decision making?
Right, sure. More science. From a Moor's perspective, when you speak in regards to the Moors, we're talking about nationality, right? Who we are.
Not to cut you off anything, but Moor means black. I was just reading about that today.
Yeah.
And some of them was European, and they don't really speak much about the Moors.
Right. Yeah. That's true. Amalgamated Moors. That's true. You're right. The term Moor does mean black. That's right. know, to get more off into it, when we're speaking in regards to nationality, we're talking about Moorish science or Moorish descent. That was not a religious group. It's more of a national movement, right? To awaken one's minds in regards to who we are, how to link ourselves back, you know, in time, and discard the terms and or titles, Negro, Black, Colored, or African American, right? And it's basic. They're basically civic lessons, and they're good, man. I was so into it. 2000, I was in Lionel Lakes, and one of my partners or whatnot, crib homies or whatnot, turned me on to it. You know, he used to go, because we came up as Jehovah's Witnesses. So he used to go to the temple. So I was curious, like, you know, what is that? You know what I'm saying? All I see is vice lords and stones running around here, you know, doing this and doing that. But I had a misunderstanding, right? Until, you know, I went up in there, I started going up in there, and boom, you know, I started doing my own research, investigating everything. Because couldn't know anybody just tell me know anything. It just wasn't going to happen. That in itself, man, will really change you all's way of thinking. Because that's what it did for me. And when you're studying more science, nationality, as far as who we are, as far as how to become on equal levels with everyone else in the world, with the world communities. You get what I'm saying? As far as nationality is concerned, because if you don't have a nationality or a nation that you belong to, man, right, you're considered an outcast, man. You're dead, man, right? You're nobody. You can't link yourself back to where you come from, who you are. So that's how it worked out for me, and I utilized those skills as well in everything that I did, man. But I did it with love, though, right? It wasn't no evil or hidden agenda connotation that came with it when I demonstrated. Okay?
You know, Beethoven was born too?
Pardon me?
Beethoven.
Yeah, Beethoven. You know, there were two Mozarts.
Yeah.
The first Mozart was a Moor, Buddha,
Yeah.
the statue Buddha, big bro Buddha was a Moor, the Asiatic.
Yeah.
Uh,
The gators, more gators came from the shoe, more gators.
right. Yeah. You have a lot of it's a lot of aspects to Moor
They just
science.
don't,
Man.
no one tells you about the history of it.
Huh?
No one tells you about the history.
Right. Yeah. Some don't, because some don't know. If they don't know, they can't explain. You know? But if you all want to know anything in regards to Moor science, you know, I can answer those questions for you, man. I can help you, do what you need to do. Yeah. Is that it?
No.
Go ahead, Will. Go ahead.
Look, man, talk to the brothers on the piece of healing themselves. How important, because you said you murdered somebody, right? So, how did you heal yourself? I mean, you know, you talk about anger and all that. Because a lot of young brothers, when we out here, man, you know, the first thing we say, we don't want to see a health person, we don't want to see a counselor, we don't want to see a therapist. Man, ain't nothing wrong with me, man, but deep inside, man.
It's depression, man. That's what it is.
So how do you deal with it?
It's one of the ways, and that's a good question. One of the ways that I dealt with the guilt was by praying, man. By prayer. And the funny thing about it is, you know, this guy's spirit attached itself to me in prison.
Talk about that, man.
Right? I was in St. Cloud, man. I used to have nightmares about this, man. This brother used to come hungry, man, right? And I used to cuss his ass out, you know what I'm saying? Let him know, look, fam, you know, it's a wrap, man. You know what I'm saying? Look, don't lay down, man. It's over. You know? When I went through that for like 2 months straight, every night, man. When it got night, time, I had to really pray, man. You see what I'm saying? That was a demon, man, attaching itself to me. You understand? So, yeah, that was one of the ways that I dealt with that. It hurt me, man. It literally did something to me mentally, right? I regret that, man, that, you know, I did that like that. But it wasn't a straight out, you know, I done went hunting him down and this and that. It was never nothing like that. It was all self-defense, man. But still, even when you're defending yourself, man, right, you got an eighth of a second, man, to turn that thought off, man. And I didn't. You see what I'm saying? I went all the way through with it. Right around the corner, man. Right? Literally around the corner. But to get back on, to get back on the healing part. Again, I prayed, man, and I stayed busy. I kept my mind going. I always did something in the institution. When you sit and be idle in them cells like that, you know, them demons, man, will get all in your head, man, having you thinking and doing this and doing that, thinking that it's cool, and really it's not. You know, again, prayer. I did a lot of prayer. I did a lot of work. I put together, you know, an apology letter, man, to this guy's family. You know, that was just part of my growing. I had to do that, you know, to get that off of me, man, to get that spirit up off of me. You know what I'm saying? So I can continue to blossom, man. Right? But again, man, to y'all, you don't want that, man. That's not what you want. There's nothing good about again, being in jail, man. That don't make you no man. That don't make you hard. That don't make you tough. It actually, man, makes you weak, man. It sends a message that, shit, man, you're so weak you can't even deal with society, man. Right? Shake that. Get out of that. You know? Get out of that. You know what I'm saying? Go to school, man. Get your schooling out the way. Learn computers. Learn something about construction. Right? Somewhere you can build a career. If you're into music, you write like a rap, sing, whatever, you know, do your thing, man. That's cool. I'm for all of that. Right? I'm into all of that. You know? But the violent aspect of it, no. No. Don't do that. Go ahead.
What's some of the curriculum that you put together while you was in there?
Oh, I put together a curriculum for at-risk youth of the community and or at-risk youth offenders, right? The name of my curriculum is called Juby's Talk Incorporated. And again, it's basically speaking in regard to doing the works that Big Bro doing, that North Ford is doing, and that the Brothers of Mad Dad is doing. You know, deterring the youth, man. That's the bottom line. That's the point. Mine consists of a 12-week program, 6 sessions, 2-week intervals on one session, totaling out to 12. You know, I think it's pretty cool. I've been talking with Big Bro about it. It's, you know, it's smooth. You know, I think that'll be real good. But mine speaks and focuses on keeping you all away from jail, out of there. Right? I want to go inside the juvenile centers, the group homes, and some of the schools. I want the hard heads, the ones that nobody wants to deal with. And that's true in regards to what Big Bro said last week. I got the article, man, right here. This is one of the prison articles. This is what they give you in prison. See, this is their Star Tribune right here, right? But we was talking about this years ago, creations ago, in regards to how they are targeting 10-year-olds to 15-year-olds. They building prisons for 10-year-olds, man. So if they building prisons for 10-year-olds, the 15 or 16 through 21, y'all ain't got a chance, man. But again, it's not y'all fault. It's not, man. That's our fault. Because we older than y'all. Y'all under us, man. Right? So therefore, when we get in our little move or whatnot, we don't want to fuck with y'all. And we wrong for that, man. Ones is wrong for that. That's the bottom line of that. That ain't none of y'all's fault. But the era where I came up, it was mandatory that you listen. If you didn't, that was, you couldn't, that was your ass, man. Especially in that area. You had to listen.
Yeah, Big Mama didn't play that.
Yeah, at all.
Yeah, knock your damn head.
At all.
Yeah. So let me ask you another question. So the young brothers, I had a couple conversations with the brothers in the program, right? Okay, about anger, man.
Right.
Tell them brothers how, because you just said it, man, it take 8 motherfucking seconds.
An eighth of a second, man, to turn that thought around.
And so, how important it is to tell these brothers, man, to really deal with that, man, because I'm telling you, man, it can get you in some serious trouble, man.
And it can. The importance.
So my thing is, so what would you tell the brothers if you do got anger? What they need to do, man, to deal with it?
Okay. The importance of anger. First, ones need to know what anger is, what causes it, what triggers it, right? You have to identify that first. And you have to think of the ramifications behind it if I act out the wrong way, right? But all anger is, man, is an emotion, man, right? It's an emotion that can be controlled. It can either control you or it can be controlled, right? The brother asked, how do you control it? Okay, one of the ways I control my anger, man, is I take a deep breath, right? I calm down, relax. Gotta relax, man, relax. Just kick back. And let whatever it is that's bothering you or pissing you off, you gotta, become emotionally detached from that. You gotta shut it off, man. Move around.
So a prime example, pops tell you in the morning, it's 9 o'clock in the morning, you know your ass need to be in school, but you tell the pop, man, fuck you, I ain't going to school. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
Where that come from? As us as brothers. Or you at work and the manager, Lonzo tell you working with Lonzo tell you, man, make sure, man, you writing all this stuff down. Man, fuck you, Lonzo. Where that come from?
That comes from
How you deal with it?
right. That comes from
Listen up, man, because it's deep, brothers. I mean, this is serious, man. It's deep because simple fact, man. You gotta understand this brother said you gotta attack it, man, because simple fact, it can mess you up, man. That means that if I tell Lonzo, man, fuck off, and I'm working for him, so now I can't get a reference from this brother, right? Because he ain't gonna give me no reference if I try to go get another job. Then on top of that, if they do call him, the first thing he gonna say is, oh man, his attitude fucked up. Oh man, he don't want to listen. He angry all the time. So what's happening is that you constantly putting yourself deeper in the hole if you don't deal with, like you said, your emotionals, man.
Right.
And we got to deal with it. So
and two, you don't want, especially if you're living with family get to you, especially if you don't want to, be at the house or whatnot and listen to your parents, man, or whoever, man, right? You don't want to burn bridges with people. You don't want to, especially when you're out here in these streets. You always want to have a backup plan with whatever it is you do. Whatever you do, you got to have somebody that cares about you, man. Because if you're out here and you're stuck, it's gonna get real hot. Go ahead, brother.
I'm saying, like, how long we back on land? You talking about whole breath, like?
How long will it last?
Like, yeah. Like, what's another solution to that?
Well,
How to control that?
Well, I was trying to explain it, but yeah, it'll last for as you can hold your breath, man. Just meaning to calm down, to rethink that process. You know what I'm saying? And it's up to you. Whatever is bothering you, you have to calm down and think about something else, man. Right? Go ahead.
What if somebody like keep nitpicking at you? You know what I'm saying? Like,
move around.
Like you can't move around though.
Of course you can.
It's a choice.
You working with somebody, and they keep nitpicking at you, and you say, "Come, let it go, leave it alone." Keep do.
No,
Like how you supposed to deal with that? Like
you approach whoever you approach that situation head on, right?
Yeah.
You know, sometimes, man, you have to pull people to the side and then let them know where you stand. You know, pull them to the side where ain't nobody around, then they go get their mind all the way right.
Get their mind all the way
9
right.
times out of 10, they doing that. They doing it in front of somebody, trying to impress somebody.
Right.
So therefore, you pull them individuals to the side.
Or the other thing is that, well, the other thing is they keep nitpicking. And the brother said it, man, don't never confront a man in front of another. You know, pull him aside, take him off. But here's the other thing. Here's the question you need to ask him. Man, brother, what happened to you, man? I mean, why are you coming at me? If you ask him the question, what happened to him, you putting it back on him, but now you're going to be like, what you mean? Bro, you need help, man. Because it ain't me. You know what I'm saying? You got to give him to answer that question. No, bro, man, bro, I ain't with that. This ain't me. So what happened to you, bro? Because, man, why you keep coming at me, man? And then I tell you this, too, what we don't like to do when we brothers. See, when another brother talk loud, we want to talk loud. One of you got to have that calm voice, like, and if you talking real loud and you ain't been used to that, man, look like that, bro. Come on, man. I feel you, homie. Yo, you got to make him get all the way down, right? And if you don't want to get down, bro, man, 2 things. I love you. You need some help. I'll holler at you. You know what I'm saying? You gonna make him think, man. For real. You gotta think. Because you getting it out for you putting it back on him.
That's what, yeah.
Okay, Lon.
yeah, one thing, man, I got to tell you, in my mind, what I be wanting to do, if I go ahead with what's going on in my mind, I'm going back to prison
For a long time.
for a long time, right? So I know I got a problem. If you know you got an attitude problem, you grew up with an attitude problem, ain't no wrong with getting some help. I just went down to North Point and signed up for a psychologist. I go to see my psychologist on the 4th. I get involved in my anger management when it started up. I went over there and talked to the people across the street, told them I need anger management. Like, is it court mandated? No.
That's good.
It's mandated by me. I gotta fix something here.
Yes, sir.
Because I work on the bus. And the people, boy, I have to stop and pray.
Yes, sir.
And guess who I got to stop and pray on, though? You brothers from downtown coming in from school every day. He right, y'all don't know how to talk to people, man. When I grew up, we did not have the right to over-talk a grown person. At all.
Right. Tell him.
I have never seen a man say something crazy to me and they 5'1", weighing about 90 pounds, knowing they can't take a punch from me, but willing to try. You know what I mean? So it's better for me to get some help before I go to jail. I gotta work it out for myself. But it's for me, not for y'all. Y'all gonna do y'all, and I got to do me. Right? So if I'm dealing with somebody and on my job, I gotta learn that, because I see who got upset when you start talking. And I love you, bro. When a person is at your job and at your place of business or whatever you're doing and they doing something that you don't like, that's their shit. That's not your shit. If they making a mistake and continue to make a mistake, that's their place of business. So that means you start looking for another job while you go to work.
My man.
It's real simple.
That's it, brother. That's it. When we talking about kissing ass and nothing
No.
like that. But you got, and I explained to the little brother like this. I got a wife, kids, I know all that, right? Man, look here. I done came to the point. I done accepted so much, man. You know, it's like I got to bite my tongue. I know I ain't no punk ass nigga and all that, but if I quit my job, I'm gonna be out on the streets. I got a mortgage, car, all that. But as I'm saying, I can easily look for me another job while I'm at work, just knowing that, man, I'm about to get up off of this. You know what I'm saying? within a couple weeks. And then I'm still gonna be respectful enough to say, here's my 2 weeks notice. I'll holler at you. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm gonna tell y'all something in life, man. You gonna have to deal with a whole lot of personalities. And if you the type, man, that don't want to deal with a personality, and even if you got your own goddamn business, you still got to deal with people with personalities. And if you don't get that shit under control, bro, you're going to let your emotions get over you. So here's what I used to do when I left the games to deal with my emotions. I started fishing a lot, man. I go to the water, man, and I just let me and the goddamn fishing on. I don't give a damn. I ain't catch a goddamn fish. But it was something that I wanted to do, something I lacked, man. It was something that could utilize my bad attitude to a point where I'm saying, this is something I like, man. You need to find something, whether it's art, singing, poetry, walking your dog. Okay. You need to do something, man. And the ultimate goal is this. You gotta pray, man. Right. Because I remember my mom used to tell me all the time, you know, when we used to walk out that door, I'd be like, I ain't hearing that shit, but I'm rolling with the guys, right? She would say 2 things. God, you know, protect them while you're in the streets, and I put you in God's hands. You know what I'm saying? So when you get to a point in life, that shit gonna come back and register. What did she mean she was praying? You know what I'm saying? So when you begin to seek your Creator, oh, what? And then ask Him to help you with your emotions and help you with your anger and all that, man, you'll see, bro, that shit will go,
Yeah,
you know?
Pray for the person in your face. Like, Lord, could you help him? Please help him.
We can't, because you know why? You need to get that mirror and then just ask yourself, man. And I say all the brothers and sisters, man, what makes you ashamed of being black, man, or who you are? What makes you so ugly? I mean, get in the fucking mirror tonight and ask yourself that. I mean, get in there, man. I mean, turn the light on and get in the mirror and say, man, what makes me ashamed of being who I am? Why I'm so angry? And just listen, man. Your mind, it's gonna tell you.
It's gonna tell you.
It's gonna tell, and write it down. Because that's the problem, man. We don't like what's in our skin, man. And it ain't us, man. But you gotta deal with it, folks.
And so I think just from listening to these 3 guys right here, and from the question is, how do I deal with my anger? It all goes back to the individual making the choice. So as being a man, you have to make the conscious choice to look yourself in the mirror and want to do better. You have to make a conscious effort. One thing that they taught us is called it's the lifesaver drill. You get mad at somebody, you about to flare off on them, pop your lifesaver in your mouth, suck that lifesaver until it's gone, and then once that lifesaver gone, see if you still mad. And that's why he said pause. But it still requires an individual, him, to take the time and say, I'm a man and I'm in control of this. And if you're not in control of it, I'm going to be in control of pushing your button to set your ass off every time until you learn how to deal with yourself. So like he said, look in the mirror and figure out, how can I deal with myself? And then you'll be able to deal with it.
People used to judge me. When I was growing up as a kid, I used to flare up all the time. So they used to pick on me just to watch me act a fool.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
That's real.
Well, we used to do that. My friends tell me, we used to love to come to school and get them in such and such class and start messing with you. Just to watch you flip out. That shit used to be so fun. I ain't that about a bitch. Now I'm a fucking
Jouster, yeah.
I'm a puppet. I'm their game for the day. Every day they pick with me, and I'll get huffy. I was a skinny little kid. I felt like they was picking on me because I was skinny. So I jump up, turn the table up. Y'all think this thing, we can get it in right now.
But that's what society's doing to y'all.
Yeah.
And they laughing.
Oh, they laugh. That's what
The system is laughing at y'all.
ain't getting rich.
And getting rich at the same time. So be mindful.
The man just said they making jails for 10-year-olds. You think they been making them jails for 10-year-olds since then? They been starting making jails for 10-year-olds 10 years ago.
20.
I was in the movie yesterday morning. It's kind of funny. Northeast Middle School, and we was doing they called climate assessment. We had all the teachers in. We had the principal in. The principal is black. Everybody else white. but the hall monitor, all those people are black, right? They didn't want them in the room, who really in contact with the brothers and sisters that's over there, right? They had all the white people in the room, right? And I'm gonna tell you something. The ultimate goal they were saying is that send them to the principal office, kick them out. Send them to the principal office, kick them out. So we're saying that no, we need mediation where when that little brother come down there and he angry, pushing the goddamn desk over because he just seen his little brother get his head blown off. You know what I'm saying? And you telling him to take a test, or you telling him to take this test. His mind ain't on no fucking test, man. See, you got to see, and they ain't identifying the problem, man, with us. And they ain't talking about healing. They ain't talking about trauma, emotional behavior. They ain't talking about none of that with us, man. But and then here's the difference. You watch the goddamn news right now today. You go and put on CNN News. Every killing happened in America when it comes to white people, right? They get 24/7 service of mental health service. Every time killing happen in our community, we don't get that. If they want to solve this issue of violence, man, America can do it, man. But they don't want to do it. It's all about this dollar, man.
It's a game.
It's a game. And so now I'm over here at Northeast Middle School in the morning time. Then I'm saying, once again, they ain't talking about no solution to the young brother's problem. The solution is to kick their ass out. So now here we go again, got to deal with this little brother. Then there's Macy opening another K-8 school that they talking about. They want us to come and I mean, K-8, but this brother, got little brothers over there acting a fool, man. K-8. Teachers can't handle them at all. Period. They don't want to handle them. You know why? Because it's not their flesh and blood. Even if it's not their flesh and blood, it don't look like me. Some of them might just be there to be working, but real talk, man, the easy thing, and I was one of them people, man. They sent my ass through first grade, second grade, third grade, fourth grade, fifth grade, sixth grade. They just flushed my ass on through high school till I got to college. When I got to college, I didn't know how to write a fucking essay. I didn't know how to write a paragraph. I didn't know how to turn on a computer. See, when you bad and you know, see to them, when we act out, you know what I'm saying? They crazy. They mad. But when they kids act out, they just adolescents. It's a difference. Right. And it's deeper than this, man. So I advise you, brother. Go on CNN News today, man. Did y'all see what happened to the brother in North Carolina? Y'all just see what happened Tuesday.
The Army dude.
Huh?
The Army dude.
Not here, that's in Washington, D.C.
Dude, graduate from FAMU.
Was a football player playing at Florida A&M. Big brother, right? So his car go off the cliff, right, off the little hill. He breaks the window out, gets out, he all hurt, scarred up. He knocking on the door because he need help like this. So white lady opened the door. She hit up and slammed it. He's still knocking. She calls the police. She tells the police, hurry up, I got an intruder trying to get in my house. Right? Then they said, well, what do he look like? He's a black man.
Pew.
Okay, we're on our way. Get this, this the recording, all this shit is right there. Go to somewhere safe till we get there, right? The brother, when they get there, he got his hands open and everything. They see him bleeding, right? Because he's in the accident, right? He going to him like this. He get close to him, they tased him. He like this, right? Big brother, man. He played for Florida A&M, like a tight end. If you don't know what a tight end look like, and he a big brother, yeah, check out a tight end. So anyway, check this out. So check this out. The young white cop, right? Shoot, ask questions later. After the first cop tased him, couldn't do nothing with him, this how he shot the damn brother. Boop, boop, boop. Boop, boop, boop. Boop, boop. Boop, boop, boop. Just like that. 12 times.
Shot him. It's like 10.
10 times.
10 times.
Yeah, it's all, man.
Yeah, shut his ass, fam. Y'all ain't hear about that?
It's on the news.
Man, it's all over the news, bro.
Killed
him.
I'm telling you, brother.
Over
man.
nothing. No, North Carolina.
Listen, North Carolina. So the question is this, man.
Damn.
Even though that brother,
Read and stay in the
innocent brothers and all
books.
that, man, we got shit
Straight up.
stacked up against us on every corner, man. As a black person, man, it's stacked up, man. I ain't got nothing against white people, man. You know what I'm saying? Not at all. You know?
It's the
I
system.
got friends as white people. It is what it is. But I'm just saying, it's these systems out here.
It's the system.
Man, they're getting us, man.
You're not fighting against
they're
people, it's
getting
against
us, man.
systems.
We gotta be.
And the system is manipulating the people to think
And those
against them.
emotional.
So you got to know propaganda.
You got to. And the emotional pieces, look, bro. I'm telling y'all, man. Y'all got to be able to deal with that shit, man. Because I'm telling you, man, if you don't, you can snap just like that, man. Yeah. And then, like he said, man, it's consequences.
It's gonna be your fault.
behind it.
Yeah, snap it.
Your
They
fault.
doing to the police officer. They fired him.
Manslaughter.
They gave him manslaughter, and they put the other two on administration leave with pay.
They better put them in jail.
Boy, they on vacation.
A manslaughter, that's supposed to be murder one the way he did it.
But if you see the dude,
Give him
you see-
5 years.
If you see
Manslaughter,
little
5
man
years.
face that shot him, if you see his face that, if you see little man face that shot him, man, he got that look, man.
Like he just gonna kill black
Yeah, like he got that look, man. But it's that, man. Hey, man, they talking about trauma, they talking about healing, they talking about mental health. That's all you hearing on news right now, brothers. And I'm telling you, little brothers, man, you gotta get some help, man. It ain't nothing wrong with getting help, like this brother just said.
It ain't.
Man, ain't nothing wrong with getting help. If you can't, well, I can say this. That man above, man, he'll help you get. He either gonna steer you somewhere to go help, or he gonna kill you. But I'm telling you, you gotta start somewhere, little brother. You know what I'm saying? Because, man, if you angry, that's not a good feeling, man. At all.
I don't like
It's not a good
I
feeling,
like
man.
It take more energy to be angry than it does to be peaceful.
Yeah.
But
I
I
wanna
leave,
give me some water.
leave out, man, with this message to y'all, right? The youngsters again. And this is an old saying, man, that you know, that my big brother, man, used to always tell me when I was acting out. He used to always tell me.
Stop coming here high.
He tell me, you know, you go mind somebody, man. Right? If you don't mind what it is that we telling you, you know, them peoples, man, got a place for you, man. You either go mind us or you go mind them. But you go mind somebody. Right? Yeah. That's my introduction piece, man.
It's still what you go to hole for SAG.
Yeah.
Y'all know that?
They see me
Still go to see to the hole for SAG.
Yeah.
Let's give this brother a hand, y'all.
How you gonna say